Why, hello there, YouTube. What are we doing here? Looks like we're in HD. What curse has brought me here? Well, um, yeah, ChuKoNoob sent me a game between him and L0necourier, and I've been promising that I'd cast them for a while, so we're gonna see how this goes. I hope it's not awful, but, we all have hopes and dreams. I've never seen this wreck before or know anything about it whatsoever, so we're going into this cold. So, looks like they're playing MegaRandom, but got a ChuKoNoob here spawning in the yellow as the Chinese. In the right-hand side of the map, yes, it's definitely a nomad start, which is making Lone somewhat unhappy. But then you have Lone over here as the blue Britons in the left side of the map. So, if you were unaware of these two individuals, they're some people, alright. They're regulars from my stream. Lone is that guy who talks a lot about wanting people to 1v1 him or something. Yeah, you know him. He's definitely a talkative person. ChuKoNoob is that other guy. He likes the Chinese. He likes ChuKoNoob, obviously. He likes history too. Yeah. So, let's see what this map is. Let's see how long it will take before my brain cells start to rot. The level of both these players is like 1600 something HD, so obviously not the most highly rated of games, but we'll see how it goes. First thing I'm noticing here is that, man, HD is slow. HD just feels so much slower compared to Voobly, even though it's technically the correct speed. Everyone's just so used to seeing Voobly speed. But since the map is MegaRandom, let's check it out. Got the secluded pond up here in the north with two fish, two tuna, and a relic, but you have to chop to get there. I don't know, it's kind of random. And if I could compare it to anything, the map kind of looks like Cenotes, which is that Arabia-ish map, but it's got like random ponds. These ponds seem to have like maybe one big fish at most, maybe two. But overall, they're not really going to be worth docking, I would say. Beyond that, I'd say a pretty regular distribution of trees. A few cliffs here and there. Nothing too terribly thrilling. See the goldstone areas of this map. Oh, ChuKoNoob, get your dudes working, man. Ah! Ah! It looks like ChuKoNoob's got some berries. He's got some deer. He's already harvesting sheep. Plenty of stone, so obviously he's going to want to be making lots of those castles or maybe even bombard towers. But obviously Chinese, their sort of go-to late game composition is going to be ChuKoNoob plus siege ram plus bombard tower plus like trebs or something. Look at L0necourier's map. He's got a pretty nice setup here. He's got gold, he's got stone, berries, wood, all that good stuff. Of course, this is on HD, so I don't have an overlay or anything, which is kind of a bit unfortunate. But both these guys have the same population currently. That means that ChuKoNoob is kind of far behind already, because he started as Chinese, so he should be having some sort of advantage there. Oh boy, this is gonna be a game, all right. I can feel it. But yeah, there seems to be plenty of both gold and stone on this map, so I don't think we'll be resorting to trash wars anytime soon. Let's kind of take a look at where the sort of focal points of this map are going to be, because these guys aren't too far away from each other, but they're both located on top of hills, which are going to be pretty nice for them defensively. Because L0necourier would have to attack up this hill here, and the same here for ChuKoNoob. They're also not too far away from each other. But yeah, with all these resources here, this definitely is, I think, a pretty fair map. Nothing too insane. It seems like they just had a pretty normal nomad start. ChuKoNoob does see this boar here, so we can take that. but I'm not exactly expecting great things from either of these players in terms of absolutely wowing me with their prowess at this game. Don't know why L0necourier went for a barracks so early. That's kind of a waste of resources. You have militia. He has a militia, and he's able to scout, which is pretty nice. But it's not really worth the investment this early on. Just use your sheep, or a villager or something. Yeah, Britons gather from sheep faster, but you have all this hunt here. You have the berries. No real reason to invest those resources. He's also gathering stone. Absolutely no idea why he's doing that. Meanwhile, ChuKoNoob seems to be doing something I think I would call a bit more standard. Check the population counts. ChuKoNoob is 15, L0necourier is at 17, so it looked like he's one villager ahead and also that militia. So it looks like Lone having a bit of a better start than ChuKoNoob, but doesn't seem to be too big a deal. Both these players have loom. Also, Lone has this ore right under his TC here that he can take. Does he not? He doesn't see that sheep there. That's a bit unfortunate. So, I guess, you know, since this is most likely going to go to the late game, because you rarely see newer player noob games or whatever, you don't really see them end in Castle Age or anything. Chinese versus Britons. Chinese have Siege Ram and they have ChuKoNoob, so theoretically they should destroy the Britons. Like, yeah, the Longbowmen will definitely outrange the ChuKoNoob, but just the fact that you have Siege Rams will provide the ChuKoNoob all the sort of covering fire they need, and they can sort of do a slow push with their bombard towers and castles. Of course, that's if ChuKoNoob manages to do that correctly, which is not exactly a guarantee. Meanwhile, for Lone, Britons, obviously archers are going to be their go-to, but then Lone just never makes archers as Britons for some reason, so who knows? Who knows? It's really going to be who can frustrate me and make me less depressed this game. It looks like Lone is managing to maintain about a villager advantage, I would say. Neither of these players particularly close to clicking up, which I guess you would expect at this point. Now, if a barracks coming down from ChuKoNoob, this could indicate that he wants to go for some faster aggression, I guess. I guess just something I noticed here is that the only hills on the map are these two players' bases. So it kind of makes it look like Acropolis. Ooh, nice little nab there with getting the deer right under the TC. That's pretty nice for ChuKoNoob. Are there any relics here? Looks like there's a relic. A relic. A relic. So, 3 relics by the looks of things, but 2 have spawned in the back of ChuKoNoob's base. So that's going to be pretty handy for him. But overall, no one's going to be getting too much relic gold here. But yeah, Lone, using his militia, just gathering a few extra deer here and there. Deer. Sheep. These are sheep! Which is always nice if you're a Britons player, and these players have plenty of food, but what I don't understand is why on earth we see Lone gathering so much stone. If these villagers that have been gathering stone were just gathering food, he could have been up to the feudal age, like, ages ago. Could be making archers and attacking his opponent. This stone does absolutely nothing for him right now. The only stone building you can build in the Dark Age is an outpost. I don't think we're going to see any outpost rushes this game. But Lone now able to click up. Yeah, there we go. So Lone's clicking up to the feudal age. See where ChuKoNoob is at. ChuKoNoob is actually halfway there himself, which just goes to show the power of not needlessly gathering stone. Pretty good. So ChuKoNoob is going to be much faster to that feudal age. Looking pretty good in the food income. Plenty of people gathering berries. Starting to get that farm eco going. He took the boar. His starting position's a little bit more awkward, I would say, than L0necourier's, because he doesn't have, like, the easiest access to gold. He can throw down a TC here, I think, in the Castle Age. But until then, it's going to be kind of hard to safely gather gold and sort of defend it from early aggression. Kind of a lot of villagers coming out here. Well, these two are just going to take the deer. And it's going to be an archery range here for ChuKoNoob. So going to be going for those early archers, and I like that. I definitely think that's a good idea on this map. You're pretty exposed. Obviously, if L0necourier were to want to defend this, he'd have to have a whole lot of towers, this map being very open and hard to wall. And even if you do wall, I mean, they're pretty short areas which you can fire arrows over if you're archers. Duh. Stone gate coming down here from ChuKoNoob. Not really sure if that's necessary, considering you don't even have the rest of your base walled. Not a big fan of that. Now you're sort of ensuring that you have to gather stone before you can build an additional 2 TCs in the Castle Age. Also, only one range, and no archer production. Not exactly sure why. ChuKoNoob has a ton of food in the bank, but no gold. Now he's getting a blacksmith. Not really sure why. Now we have some men-at-arms here for L0necourier. See if they can get anything done. ChuKoNoob is decently walled, but he's not fully walled. Not sure what this is, but I think that these men-at-arms will likely be able to prevent ChuKoNoob from getting easy access to gold if they manage to find said gold. Let's check Lone's POV. So, ooh, quick wall. Quick wall not exactly happening there for ChuKoNoob, and that is a bit of a problem. Maybe. Well, these villagers are going to go out to this gold. Lone doesn't see it. He has absolutely no idea what his opponent is up to. He only just found ChuKoNoob, but there, he sees the villagers building the mining camp, so he will be able to just walk right over there and harass them, possibly, or not. Maybe. Attack a house. And here is an archer finally from ChuKoNoob. I'd say this is a little long time in coming. He built that archery range ages ago. Even just making a couple skirmishers is going to be worth it. Oh no! Oh, fail rally for that villager. So, theoretically, with Micro, this one archer will be able to kill all of these men-at-arms eventually. But they will force ChuKoNoob off of these food resources for the time being. Gotta be careful, don't want to lose that archer. Taking a ton of damage on it there. Might try and bait the men-at-arms into the TC, and will get a nice couple shots there. So it's going on at Lone's base. Population count is currently 37 for Lone and only 31 for ChuKoNoob, but ChuKoNoob has a lot more resources in the bank. Now getting a market, probably going to try and sell his way up to the Castle Age. More stone walls coming down here from ChuKoNoob. He's playing very defensively. Not sure what he's going to do once he hits the Castle Age, though. But yeah, he can click up right now, and he will do thusly. Garrisoning his archer in the TC. That's a cute little move. It will slowly regain HP over time. Meanwhile, Lone, continuing to gather that stone in massive quantities for no reason. Like 1,000... Actually, it's about to be 1,200 stone in the bank for no reason. If that was food, he could have clicked up, but it's not. It's stone. And now he's sending scouts over. Not really sure why. Again, ChuKoNoob not really putting up much of a defense for the time being. He does have quite a lot of, I would say, unnecessary idle time. He should have probably thrown down a defensive tower or something. Doesn't really have the stone for it anymore because of all these stone walls he's built. Not gathering any stone, so that means that his stone will be limited, and he can't even afford a town center once he hits the Castle Age. So I definitely, if I were ChuKoNoob in this situation, I'd try to throw down some additional archery ranges or something. Gotta make some sort of use out of that Castle Age. But yeah, this aggression from L0necourier isn't really going to do anything, like, permanent in terms of damage. Looks like all it will serve to do is create a bit of idle time and force those walls up. And again, L0necourier miles away from the Castle Age. Let's see what ChuKoNoob's going to do once he hits Castle, though. Coming in right there. More archers. Do we have fletching? Does have fletching. L0ne does have the +1 defense upgrade. Also +1 defense for his scouts. Ooh, and this wasn't actually rewalled, so this might be a dead villager here. Maybe not. Ooh, looks like ChuKoNoob did just buy some stone at the market. I mean, that's certainly a possibility, and he will just be throwing down an additional town center. I think he's a little bit behind in terms of villagers. 44 population for L0ne, only the 36 for ChuKoNoob, but of course, take into account that ChuKoNoob is one whole Castle Age upgrade ahead of his opponent. So I'd say he's probably down about maybe 2 or 3 villagers, but he'll obviously catch up and then surpass L0necourier at this rate. Crossbowman now on the way. Do we have Bodkin? No, we do not. He can't afford it, so he should probably go get that. I do like this here from L0necourier. I think this is a pretty good move. If your scouts aren't really going to do a whole lot in terms of offensive pressure, might as well use them to scout the map. This will help you better locate resources in the late game, like just stone and gold locations, which is pretty important. But right now, I think ChuKoNoob should be trying to apply some pressure to his opponent. Also, probably should be doing so off of more than one archery range. That'd be a good idea. But you know your opponent's still in the feudal age. You do have at least one defensive tower coming down here from L0necourier. Now getting a market. Pretty close to getting his way up to the Castle Age, just needs a little bit more food. He has his buildings, so he doesn't even really need to market his way up. But he'll be getting up to the Castle Age with like 1,500 stone in the bank. Why? Why is that necessary? Also, why isn't ChuKoNoob attacking? This is something newer players tend to miss a lot of the times. If you have units, and they're just patrolling at home, and you know you have an age up on your opponent, try and get some damage done. Just try to make him poke at his villagers, or poke at his villagers, force him to have a reaction. And now we have an archery range coming down from L0necourier. He has a barracks, stable, and archery range. He has no idea what kind of tech he wants to go into. We do see L0necourier with a massive score advantage. Is that just scouting? Yeah, it looks to be scouting. ChuKoNoob hasn't really scouted any of his map whatsoever. He's content to just slowly boom out of his base. And this map certainly has plenty of resources. It now does have the Bodkin arrow upgrade. Again, only one archery range. Not a big fan of this. You have 3, 4 crossbowmen? Yeah, 4 ranged units? Just poke away at your opponent's villagers. No reason not to. All of these villagers are so exposed. Now a stable coming down? What? It's gonna be 2 stables, an archery range, and a barracks. That makes sense. Not really. I lied there. Oh, this is gonna be a game, all right. Unfortunately, there isn't an easy way to check the villager count. Let's see, 28. Wait, yeah, sorry, 27, 33, 32, 46, 49, so like 49, 50-ish villagers for ChuKoNoob. Man, I'm missing that Boobly spec overlay. For L0ne, oh god, 18, 23, 36... 41, like 45-ish, so ChuKoNoob is about 5 villagers ahead, I would say. That's about as good as I can give you guys, unfortunately. ChuKoNoob also with about a 6 population lead overall. Looking pretty nice in this game. However, we do see L0necourier now up to the castle age, now getting some knights out, and an additional town center. Always good to see more town centers. I assume another one coming down over here or something. Maybe here. Is there a scuffle going on? Looks like the scout's just kind of wandering into the town center of ChuKoNoob. Just some sheeps up here. Now you got a monastery. Maybe he wants to get the relics. He doesn't actually see either of the relics. But maybe he's using it, predicting the knights that are going to be incoming. Just now we have ChuKoNoob scouting across the map. He actually built a stable and a scout cavalry just for this purpose. And you will see the knights with the +2 defense, so he knows that his opponent is going to be investing quite heavily into cavalry units. What is Lone building out of that archery range? Crossbowmen. So he's going for crossbowmen and knights. This is certainly a common Castle Age army composition. But again, what is the point of all this stone? You have almost 2k stone. Up, here we are. Castle going to be dropped at the front of L0necourier's base. Finally putting some sort of use to that stone. Years later, it seems. Now we have a university down here for ChuKoNoob. He's likely going to be going for that ballistics tech, but really not much of an army coming out from him right now. It's also about 1,000 score behind L0necourier. Though the population counts are about the same. Really just not sure what ChuKoNoob's game plan is here. We have some stone miners walking around. ChuKoNoob does have enough stone for a castle. Let's see if he puts one down. Also, we got a bit of a flank coming in. Some light cav and some knights from L0necourier. Of course, this whole area is walled off from ChuKoNoob, but this area is pretty exposed. Probably a castle drop at the front of ChuKoNoob's base. He is getting close to that Imperial Age tech, and I believe he has 2 buildings. He's got 2 buildings, so he can research an Imperial Age pretty soon here. Once he does that, he can start working away at the castle of L0necourier with some trebuchets of his own. But right now, ChuKoNoob has got to be real careful. He's going to have a lot of knights coming into his base real soon. Does he see this coming? Yes, he does. So Lone, a little slow to act. Another TC coming in from Lone. I think that puts him up to 4 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So Lone will have a pretty nice economy going into the late game. ChuKoNoob still staying only on the 2 town centers. Working away at this random wall here. Again, Lone, use your cavalry, man! Ah! ChuKoNoob now has a monk positioned here defensively. I guess those men-at-arms will die, but they were never really going to do anything this game anyway. Maybe. We'll see the knights come in. No, just going back and forth, making sure that, the horse's legs still work. But behind this, it looks like we will have an archer transition from L0necourier. Making some crossbowmen. See where ChuKoNoob's status is. He is about 1/3 of the way up to the Imperial Age, so he'll be much quicker to the next stage than his opponent. He's starting to fall behind in that population count. About 15 behind L0necourier right now, who's just on 4 TCs and is having a grand old time building up a large economy. So ChuKoNoob definitely needs to be careful here. Because he really doesn't have much of an army. Yeah, 13 military units. To the 24, 25 military units of L0necourier. That is a massive differential. Of course, Lone should probably do something with his army. If you invest a lot into an army, it's a good idea to do something with it. I guess ChuKoNoob will be going for his namesake unit, the ChuKoNoob, which makes sense. getting pikemen as well. You really don't need to invest into both pikemen and monks to defend against cavalry. In the Castle Age, anyway. It's a little bit overkill, unless your opponent is like really pouring it in with cavalry. Now starting to make those battering rams. Like I said in the beginning, the ideal late game composition for the Chinese is going to be siege rams plus ChuKoNoob. L0ne! L0ne could have killed like 4 villagers there. Looks like he's going to swing back around. ChuKoNoob not really paying attention. So yeah, that's going to be quite a few dead villagers. DL? What? So yeah, this is kind of a problem. You really can't just go straight for your unique unit in a 1v1. You kind of need some sort of generic like crossbowman or knight or something. Maybe just monks and siege. But you need something, right? Because right now, ChuKoNoob doesn't really have much of an army. And he's about 35 population behind his opponent. Yes, he is in the Imperial Age, whereas L0necourier is only just about to click up. But he needs to make something happen right now. And right now, ChuKoNoob is not doing anything at all with his Imperial Age upgrade. Well, I guess he got the Bracer tech, but that's about it. Knights coming in here, sells a couple light cav. Unlikely that they'll get too much damage done. Maybe get 4 or 5 villagers max, if that. But that's not really worth it for this heavy investment into cavalry. Huh? I don't even know what they're talking about. Let's check L0ne's POV here. He is up on his way to the Imperial Age, now making petards. Why on earth would you be making those in that situation? This is really bamboozling. Actually, we'll have L0ne also sneaking in a monk here with and take one of the relics. This just goes to show L0ne using that massive map control advantage. Look at the minimap here. This is ChuKoNoob's vision. This is all he has scouted. This is L0ne's vision. Way more of the map. So ChuKoNoob kind of playing in the dark, but these players kind of unwilling to actually start attacking each other. 135 pop for L0necourier, only 93 for ChuKoNoob. Again, ChuKoNoob really needing to expand to more than 2 TCs in my opinion. Yeah, that or do something with your units. Here come the petards. They're gonna blow up some siege workshops. That's not even worth it. You spent what? You know, 300, 400 food, and like 200 gold to kill 400 wood worth of siege workshop? Congrats, man. This is why petards are really bad. They're just never cost efficient unless you're destroying walls. ChuKoNoob kind of on the back foot now. L0ne is about to hit the Imperial Age. Yep. So L0ne will be able to produce some trebuchets, but unfortunately he's wasting his resources on petards, now making barracks for some reason. And L0ne, from what I've seen of his gameplay, tends to make this mistake a lot, where he just tries to spread himself too thin. Goes for cavalry, then he goes for infantry, then he goes for cavalry, then he goes for archers, and then petards. Like, pick something and go with it. 2 or 3 units. Don't really have the resources ever to afford those sorts of armies. But now we have tons of ChuKoNoob on the way for ChuKoNoob. Elite ChuKoNoob. How well upgraded are they? Looks like they are missing the chemistry tech and the last armor upgrade, but they're getting there. But here comes the arbalests and longbowmen from L0necourier. This is why you build trebuchets, my man. Oh god. Oh boy, this is just kind of a stalemate, as low-level games so often are. Now we have Siege Ram completed for ChuKoNoob. This could be the deal breaker. Britons, no real effective way to deal with Siege Rams. But here we are, Trebuchet now out for L0necourier, and ChuKoNoob has absolutely nothing to deal with this. Well, I guess he has a random ChuKoNoob, but that guy will die real quick. ChuKoNoob might actually need to use his army. He has plenty of ChuKoNoob stored up in the bank. Low and up about 25 population, but here we go. Unfortunately, no real siege rams to protect the ChuKoNoob that effectively, and right now Lone is taking a significantly better engagement. Well, some of the archer units are being distracted, but ChuKoNoob, you gotta use all your army at once, man! And the siege ram will die just before taking out those trebuchets. This really seems to be a problem of APM for both of these players. But it looks like both these trebuchets will die to this final siege ram. So that might save ChuKoNoob for the time being, but I definitely prefer L0necourier's position here. Still maintaining about a 30 population advantage and has expanded to, I think, a 5th town center. So plenty of villagers for him. But here comes a big fight, ChuKoNoob versus Arbalests mostly. The ChuKoNoob should win that pretty convincingly. Yeah, they'll get there eventually. Well, so long as he doesn't fight in the range of that castle, because that castle will be the difference maker. And unfortunately, ChuKoNoob is doing exactly that. So that's a bit of a bloopsie for him. Another siege ram coming in, but the siege ram is coming in behind the ChuKoNoob. That is never what you want. You want the siege rams in front, so that the ChuKoNoob can deal with all of these pesky longswordsmen that are trying to kill the rams, and then once the longswordsmen are down, you just push forward with your rams, and then the British ranged units can't really do anything about it. But right now, it seems like ChuKoNoob is kind of struggling up to mass an army. Still around 30 population behind his opponent. Never ideal. Also have Lone taking another relic. Just good stuff. Will be up to 3 relics. ChuKoNoob at 0. I guess there was a 4th relic on this map that I missed. Now there is some long swords, or two-handed swordsmen rather, coming in. And right now, ChuKoNoob is just completely hemorrhaging units. You never want to send in your units one by one against an army that's grouped up. That is a very quick way to lose a game. And right now, Lone is looking to be in a dominant position. Three castles here for ChuKoNoob, though, means that he will be able to produce plenty of those ChuKoNoob. But it's still missing the rocketry tech as well as the chemistry tech. And really, ChuKoNoob is just kind of struggling to mass up the army he needs. Again, sending in these units one by one is never a good idea. Does have a few rams here in the back, but again, what he needs are numbers. I don't know why he's making Cavalier. That is not the answer. You do not need to be making Cavalier right now, ChuKoNoob. You just need more ChuKoNoob and you need more siege rams. And maybe a couple trebs. Also maybe some bombard towers. But right now, this army should heavily favor L0necourier, who just has a significantly larger army than his opponent. Yep, he's still retreating. Trying to send in the swordsmen. Obviously, swordsmen quite slow units. Looks like Lone Research Warwolf. Maybe taking out a few ChuKoNoob with his trebuchets. But yeah, L0necourier definitely would have a massive kill-death ratio advantage in this game, if I were able to check that. Which I'm not able to because it's HD. Gotta love it. Yep, L0necourier still at that about 30 population advantage that he's been at all game long. And is ChuKoNoob scouting any more of the map? Nope, not at all. That's definitely a massive mistake here from ChuKoNoob. You just gotta scout your map, man. Listen to what the nice Scottish guy says. Don't forget, keep exploring the map. That's all I got. It's the best I could do. Looks like ChuKoNoob is also starting to run pretty low on gold right now. And when you don't scout any of the map, it's kind of hard to take the extra gold piles on the map. Yep. Logic. The ChuKoNoob is slowly but surely climbing up in that population count. L0necourier kind of unable to push forward and break ChuKoNoob's defenses, rather. However, Lone Courier does have access to that Warwolf tech as well as siege engineers, so the trebuchets rather, will take down the siege workshops quite quickly. But here comes ChuKoNoob, but there's the castle for Lone Courier. Oh no, this could be huge. Oh my god, that is a massive shot from those Warwolf trebs, taking down a ton of ChuKoNoob. And again, ChuKoNoob, you gotta send in the siege rams in front of the ChuKoNoob, not behind. I guess Lone's just trying to pack up his troops to run away from the siege rams, but he can just use his champions as a meat shield. But again, another efficient fight here for Lone Courier, and it looks like ChuKoNoob is just getting slowly but steadily grounded down, rather. But we have Lone Courier at about maximum population. Looking pretty good. He's got a pretty diverse army composition. More petards randomly for no adequately explored reason. And ChuKoNoob still missing some crucial techs. Lone only missing the last armor upgrade for his archers and the last attack upgrade. So that's not really too big of a deal. That's one castle down for ChuKoNoob, so again, that hurts his ChuKoNoob production. Well, I guess there's another one coming up in the south. Well, pretty much a stalemate right now. Lone Courier needs to be way more aggressive with these trebuchets. As soon as you kill one castle, pack them up and send them to the next one. No reason to just stand there. Especially when you're maxed out. You do no real good just by sitting and waiting when you're maxed out. You gotta use your units. Otherwise, you're gonna let ChuKoNoob get back into this game. ChuKoNoob is currently down about 50 population. And if things don't start happening soon, I'm going to start fast-forwarding, because this is really boring. Lone Courier, once again, using his map control advantage. He also has like a really nice pocket gold here in the back of the map. Here come the trebuchets finally. ChuKoNoob really struggling to mass up an army. In a 1v1, you really need to be able to make a trash unit of some kind to support your gold-intensive army. And right now, neither of these players have that. Which isn't really a problem for Lone Courier because he's being incredibly efficient with his units. But since ChuKoNoob isn't, he's really struggling to replace his army at the speed he needs to. That's going to be another dead castle from ChuKoNoob. He's going to try and make it happen. He's got these rams garrisoned with ChuKoNoob. Rams don't move faster with archers garrisoned. They only move faster with infantry. And I don't know why I'd want to bring the ChuKoNoob closer to the enemy units. It's supposed to use them at range, right? Right? Oh, this is going to be such a bad fight for ChuKoNoob. He's losing so many units here. Yeah, Lone Courier still chilling at max population, plenty of resources in the bank, looking poised to take this game here. Really, I think what this came down to is just Lone Courier having the better macro. What? I don't know. Not really sure what Lone Courier's doing, not attacking. But really, Lone Courier just added multiple TCs. He went up to like 4 TCs. ChuKoNoob stayed on the 2. ChuKoNoob did a lot better job advancing through the ages. And has, I think, a better army composition. But he just wasn't really having the villagers necessary to keep up with Lone Courier, who just threw down so many town centers. And ChuKoNoob played so passively that he wasn't really able to punish Lone Courier for his very greedy play. But yeah, Lone looks like he has this in the bag. Just got up to plenty of town centers, has plenty of military units. They're pretty well upgraded. Only missing Blast Furnace by the looks of things. Just more and more castles are falling for ChuKoNoob. You can replace them for the time being, but not for long. Yeah, ChuKoNoob down to 137 population. About 5k wood and food in the bank, but no gold or stone. This is why you build trash units, my friends. Trash units are the key. More werewolf treb shots. Now I'm going to start fast forwarding, because this is looking pretty over. ChuKoNoob's just going to try to mass up as much of an army as he can. I have no idea why he's putting these units in the siege rams. You're just bringing them right next to the... What the heck? Did those ChuKoNoob just teleport? So they were in the rams here, then they just teleported over there. That is so weird. Yep. Slowly losing brain cells, casting this game. Sorry, ChuKoNoob, it's very, very over. L0ne's just starting to mow down the buildings of ChuKoNoob, and right now it really doesn't seem like ChuKoNoob is going to be able to do much to defend. Throwing down a ton of archery ranges, trying to get the Arbalest tech. But that's not really going to be enough here. Now throwing down more stables. He needed to do this like 10 minutes ago. Skirmishers, again, this would be great like 10 minutes ago. All of these are so queued up. Oh man, again, this is why you need that stuff like 10 minutes ago. But to be fair, ChuKoNoob is... Like, L0ne has been so slow in pushing for some reason. Like, he just has not really been able to put on the aggression too quickly. And it's given ChuKoNoob time. He has a ton of trash units now. And again, this is why you make trash units. You just need stuff. You need stuff to kill your opponent. It looks like ChuKoNoob is going to be pushing L0necourier back right now, despite being at half the score of his opponent. He used his entire bank of resources on that. And meanwhile, we have L0necourier still maxed in resources, over 10k food in the bank, not even a castle in the front of his opponent's base. He just needs something to deal with all these skirmishers. He's dropping in population though. He has random keeps with arrow slits and the Yeoman upgrade, of course. But they're not going to do too well against siege rams, but here come the Cavalier. That is, of course, the perfect unit to deal with all of these skirmishers. And I'm not really sure if ChuKoNoob is going to be able to deal with that. He's still maxed out, and I'm glad he was able to spend all of his resources at some point, but he just did it way too late. Oh, feels town bell, man. Never ring the town bell. It's idling all of these villagers when they do not need to be idle whatsoever. But right now, ChuKoNoob is just kind of throwing his units into the grinder of these two castles. That's never really what you want. Also, ChuKoNoob unable to stop this tower and castle push. Also losing a town center here. Things are just not looking good for our yellow player here. Still at a fairly respectable population, but his army is just mostly trash. I don't really know why L0ne is trying to go for this massive raid. Like, yeah, it's doing a lot of work, but you can just kill your opponent's army, man. Now, ChuKoNoob's buildings are starting to fall. And again, I really don't see how he's able to come back in this game. L0ne has such a massive bank. ChuKoNoob had to spend everything on this army, and he still doesn't have chemistry. Those are almost some big, werewolf shots. I guess I got a couple. Still not very cost-effective. Who the hell needs siege? Everybody needs siege. Yeah, keeps here. Looks like ChuKoNoob is unfortunately going to be removed from this game. Oh man. Oh, this is such a crunch. Lol. There's the GG's. L0ne throwing down a wonder for no real reason. China always rises again. Oh god. Well, that's the game. Really, to summarize, ChuKoNoob, work on your macro, man. Looks like your overall game plan was a pretty good one, but it was really just the macro. You need to get up to a larger TC count, more villagers. Either that or make more military units and attack earlier. You had really good age-up times compared to L0necourier, but you just didn't really do anything with it. L0ne, you really need to focus on like one unit choice and go with that, at least in the beginning of the game. Yeah, especially once you see your opponent going into mass skirmishers, then you can go into Cavalier or whatever. But Looks like your macro's pretty good. Definitely got up to that nice healthy villager count. Really don't need to mine stone early. That's kind of a huge waste of resources. But I liked how you took map control. Really sort of taking advantage of every aspect of this map. And of course, eventually L0ne did get the W in the end. Let's check the achievements. This is really what it came down to. ChuKoNoob just never took an efficient engagement. Just kept on throwing away units into the castles and ranged units of L0necourier. Really never a good idea as any civilization. It's just not ideal. And this is, of course, what I was talking about before. L0ne gathering over twice as much food as his opponent. Over twice as much stone as well. And of course the gold is always the big kicker in a 1v1. That's a huge research count. You do not need to read that many researches in an Age of Empires game. Also, L0ne taking the relics, that's a good idea. Nah, massive, massive army drop-off there from ChuKoNoob. But yeah, you can see L0ne doing a much better job of making an army consistently. And then actually, I think, doing a better job of using that army to at least harass and pressure his opponent. But oh well. GG's. That was a game. I just watched it. And for some reason, people who have watched the video up to this point watched it too. Oh boy.